So where do I begin? I guess 9 months before I was born into this world. 9 months of what seemed to be complete darkness and suffocation. I feel as though my spirit is on fire. I can hear the moans and feel the pain of souls crying out for help. Thinking to my unborn self, this is my hell. What did I do to deserve this, God? Was it for the lives I took in the eyes of your creation? Did I take too much or not help my fellow beings from my previous life? As darkness filled my soul and silence surrounded the compressed air I was breathing, I started a painting of you on canvas. But artist block had arrived right on time with its inconvenience to my fucked up human existence and a little help from my subconscious.
You call this art? It looks like a piece of shit to me.
I was in need of Jesus and a large sum of money fast if I didn't want to lose everything I worked for in the last 15 years of my life. Hello?
Zachary, do you have my rent money yet? It's 2 months past due, Zach.
I got it.
You bastard. If you do not pay by tomorrow, I'm going to change the locks in the studios.
Get your fucking rent money. Every time Artist Block had arrived, Jesus was my visual savior. No matter how much money I was in debt to this world, I would always find enough money to score my fix. I know what you're thinking. I don't look like your stereotypical junkie. But unlike some people who would slam every day just to get high, I would use my fix as a tool, a visual tool that would bring me a complex array of color, vision, and harmony. And as for Jesus, well, he seemed to serve two purposes in my life. For one, he always had the good stuff. And two, he always seemed to be a good listener. To tell you the truth, man, I've been working on this fucking piece for months. Just right out of the fucking blue, my mental vision turned black. It's like everything fucking turned black on me. Fuck. It's violating when your mental vision turns black. I need some color, man, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I got just what you need. What's this painting of anyway?
God. I see God.
It should be easy.
Hello? Hey, man, what's up? Wow, dude. Where you at? That was my good friend Jeff. Jeff and I were good friends from back in the day. Our fathers were also good friends that would take us on hunting trips when we were children, teaching us the ways of survival in nature, turning us into men. But I haven't seen Jeff since he upped and moved to London about 12 years ago. The last I heard of him is when he sent me a postcard in that hallucinating liquor called absinthe. I've been dying to drink it, but every time all my friends and family would come over to the house, they'd keep checking on the bottle to make sure I didn't polish it off. Yeah, my whole family thought I was sober, but whatever. Apparently, Jeff heard through the grapevine that I was also sober now, and married with kids. And as for the sober part, I wanted it to remain that way. I must admit, not seeing Jeff in over 12 years, it seemed like he changed. His mannerisms, voice, clothes. It almost felt like I was talking to a complete stranger. But I looked at it this way. Now I had somebody else I could dump my problems onto. So in the midst of this conversation with Jeff started telling me how he became a vegan over the years, and how his trip to Tibet changed his life. He was saying that we lived on some sort of eternal timeline and can never die, and how karma plays a big part in every life that we live. And in the end, we'd be judged by you, the Almighty, and that would determine what we'd be in our next lives. And all this is coming from a guy I used to know that would stick his head inside his venison kills and tear the heart out from its valves with his teeth, then eat it with a devilish look in his eyes. But on a more positive note, Jeff landed himself a job as an art curator, and he was doing an exhibit on the underground artists of Brooklyn, and that was one of the main reasons why he got in contact with me. So I told him I didn't think I'd be able to participate under my current situation. Everything from how I was going to be locked out of my studio if I didn't get my landlord his rent money by tomorrow, to how I was $8,000 in the hole to creditors, family, and friends, and how Stephanie, my wife, was so unsupportive of my art career, and she was trying to do anything in her power to turn me into some fucking 9-to-5er.
You call this art? It looks like a piece of shit to me.
And you knew as well as I did, God, I couldn't go back to that lifestyle. I was free as an artist for 15 years, and that was one freedom she wasn't going to take away from me. But to my amazement, dumping all my financial problems onto Jeff turned out to be a really good thing. He offered to lend me the $8,000 that I needed to get back on my feet, an offer I couldn't refuse. Also a chance at a real art career, like the one I prayed to you for. But for the first time in a long time, I couldn't wait to get home. All I wanted to do was rub all this good news in Stephanie's face and show her that all my hard work finally paid off.
Where have you been? You missed Jake's birthday party. Where have you been?
I got good news. I'll make it up to him. Look, my good friend Jeff gave me a call today. He's back from London. He's back for good. He's some kind of art curator now. He wants to work with me.
So what does that mean? He's gonna come home at 3 o'clock in the morning and he's not gonna come home at all?
It's not like that, Steph. He gave us a loan to get us out of the shithole we're in.
So does he know that you're a fucking bum and you can't pay him back the same way you can't pay back all those people you've been borrowing from?
Look, I'm working on my masterpiece now. The piece that's gonna change our lives, I can feel it. I don't need no shit from you.
You've been saying that for 2 fucking years. 2 years. In that whole time, you've managed to blow our life savings away. Everything on this so-called career of yours. Just, the kids are off waiting for you. Just go say goodnight.
Hello?
Hey Jeff, it's Zach. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Zach.
Look, is there any way you think you can get me that loan today?
Sure. How about I swing by your studio later on? I can give it to you there.
No, man, the studio's a disaster right now. Besides, I got some errands to run and all. But look, maybe you could drop it off at Baker Street for me.
Wow, you're still living there?
Yeah, my father gave me the house before he upped to move to Colorado. But look, Stephanie's gonna be there all day, so why don't you go over there and introduce yourself to her? Let her know what's going on.
Are you sure you want me to hand over $8,000 to your wife, man?
It's gonna be okay, man. I had a little talk with her last night, and I put my fucking foot down, if you know what I mean. But look, I'm not gonna be back till later this evening, possibly, but I'll give you a call later, and maybe we'll get together for tomorrow or something.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do that.
Great, Jeff. Great. Hey, Jeff. Thanks a million, man. And I won't let you down. I promise.
Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.
Bye. I didn't want Jeff to know what I was up to that day. It's people like him that try to make me feel like a savage in my life. And they'll pick apart everything in their eyes that they see wrong. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate everything that he was about to do for me, but I wasn't about to let his spiritual beliefs alter the course of the way I wanted to live my life.
Fuck!
I was starting to think that Jeff's little spiritual talk put a little hex on me. I haven't came home without a kill in about 5 years, and that was probably the easiest shot on a buck that I had in my whole life, not to mention the other 2 I missed.
Do not pay back tomorrow. I'm going to change the locks on the studios.
I guess my Russian landlord lived in a different time zone. The last I checked, this day wasn't even over with yet. He still locked me out of my studio. And all this bullshit didn't stop there. When I got back to my place, I came home to an empty house and no sign of my $8,000 anywhere. I was starting to think that Stephanie took the cash, packed up the kids, and left town with my future in her hands.
Since when did you start getting home at 2:30 in the morning?
Who cares? I can't go out and have a good time?
I'll tell you what, I fucking care. That Russian prick fucking landlord put a lock on my studio.
So what does that have to do with me?
Where's the fucking envelope?
So what does that
fucking
have to
Jeff
do
left?
with me, she said. I guess that's what I get for marrying an ex-pole bearer.
What the fuck is it doing there?
You see, Stephanie was a go-go dancer before I knocked her up with Jake. And shortly after that, we decided to get married in the court of law. Not a real spiritual marriage or anything like that, but one of those piece of paper marriages. A real downer of a wedding that I stood in line for one Sunday afternoon. But before we had Jake, we only really had 2 things in common. Our drug addiction together and really, really good sex. But Stephanie got clean and stayed clean when she found out she was pregnant with Jake, leaving me to feel alone and empty for far too long now. And at this point in my life, I just about had enough of her sarcastic, negative attitude, and something had to be done about it.
So where the kids, Steph?
They're at my mom's for the weekend. But you know that Jeff friend of yours? They're down there. You should take some lessons from him.
You know what, Steph? Go fuck yourself.
I've just about had enough. I think I'm gonna fucking leave you.
Good fucking leave, you fucking smothering black hole from fucking outer space. Get the fuck out of here.
And don't bother contacting me.
Don't worry, I won't.
It's funny how you work, God. That bottle of absinthe sat dormant on a shelf for 10 years, and within the minute I touched it, Jeff showed up on my doorstep. The truth is, I wasn't ready to work with Jeff yet. Artist block still lingered in the air. It seemed my heroin fix was no longer an ally to my mental vision, and I needed to try something else to grasp the inner vision of you. experience that was. The only thing missing from that was Slugworth and the everlasting gobstopper. But through the experience, I vowed to you that I would never self-medicate myself again. And through it all, you showed me a lifetime supply of work, bringing me ever more closer to your being, changing my life from that moment on. And not only did you change my life from that moment on, you scared the living shit out of me.
Hey, Dr. Pete, this is Dan Peters from your age. You know you didn't show up last night. We just wondering if everything was okay. We're hoping that you come by tonight so we can give you 2 months sobriety tips. So stay strong, brother, and we hope to see you there. Bye now.
So I kept my promise to you, God, and I was going on my 2-month sobriety. It probably was one of the most difficult challenges you ever faced me with. But I made a promise to you, and that was a promise I wasn't going to break. So I was off to my studio, which I finally got back, using Jeff's money that he lent me. Speaking of Jeff, I was avoiding him for about 3 months, so I guess it was due time to get in contact with him and apologize for the shit I probably put him through. I also thought it'd be a good idea to let him know that I was a drug addict. Also, I was eager to show him the paintings of you that I captured on canvas. And another thing that was on my to-do list was to get in touch with Stephanie and my kids. It's amazing how drugs could rip you from your true feelings for the ones you used to care for, making you blind to the world that really exists around you. But before I tried patching things up with Jeff and Stephanie, I decided to go to my AA meeting. Stephanie made it a little difficult since she took the car after she left. So I was walking and using public transportation to get around. But on that particular day, I decided to take a shortcut, only to find the new surprise you had in store for me. And I can never forgive you for it. Hey Jeff, it's Zach. I want to apologize for what happened. Look, I got your money. Come by the studio, I'll be here all day. Besides, I got something I want to show you. So where do I begin?